Good morning, teachers. This is Judy. I made a quick video using the software that the district provided, the Screencast-O-Matic, to make just a quick overview on directions for accessing the MCISD curriculum and also curriculum resources. This is take number 4. I totally empathize with you all as you make videos, especially if you have families and kids and pets. I've had my cat jump on me. I've had a whole bunch of craziness. But anyway, back to the main topic. So if you notice, this video is going to cover just a few things, how to access your drive. So please, it's going to be very short, less than 10 minutes. Please follow it all the way through. There's really some important information. I've gotten lots. I'm going to say, I said the word lots. I'm going to say I've gotten out of 60 teachers about 15 messages and emails regarding all of the different topics that I'm trying to cover today. Okay, so please take the time to just view it, and you can pause it, play, do whatever you need to do, but just try to view the information. So anyways, how to access the curriculum drive, a quick overview of the curriculum documents, particularly the subunit, which I really want you to make sure that you're looking at. And then a quick overview of grade level content shared drive. So like I said, this will be very short. I'm trying my best to try to, feel your pain as you all are also making these videos. I'm trying to practice what I preach, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I need you to make sure you're in your actual Google Drive. This is my Google Drive and I am in the shared drive. So let me show you right now really quickly. You should be right about there in the shared drive. I have lots of drives that are different district drives. You may not have as many. You may have 1 or 2. Some of you may have a lot. You may have 3, 4, 5 drives. The drive that we're going to be focusing on is the 2020-2021 curriculum drive, which is that one there. If you do not have this drive in your shared drive space, then you need to make sure that you request access. So if you've requested access, you should see that particular drive, okay? If you have not, then let me go ahead and show you just really quickly how you can get access to the drive. Under the MCISD webpage, if you go to staff, you go to district curriculum, it's going to take you to this space, request access. You need to click here. Once you click here, it's going to take you to this page and you're going to request access. And Mr. Hill, who is our curriculum director, he is going to grant you access. But you need to do that in order to view those curriculum documents. I am not putting the curriculum framework documents in our drive, okay? So please do that if you haven't done so already. Now I'm going to go back to the Google Drive, the shared drive. And like I mentioned to you guys, we're going to look at this particular drive, which is the district curriculum drive. At the end, I will show you also, I'll look at just one drive as an example. We're going to look at the 6th grade drive just to kind of show you what you could be looking at. But we're going to first focus on the curriculum drive. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, I lost it. 1 second. Where did I go? Here we go. Okay, in this district curriculum drive, this is my view. I don't know the view that you get, but this is the view that I currently see. At a minimum, you should see either this or the social studies folder, okay? So I'm going to click on the social studies folder. If you notice, here are all the grade levels. At a minimum, you should have these or at least the grade levels that you teach. But I think based on what I've heard from teachers, you're seeing all of this. I'm going to just go into the 6th grade drive. I'm going to show you a few things. And please, like I said, stay with me. A lot of you are asking questions that pertain specifically to the stuff I'm going over in this quick little video. Everybody should have a resource folder. In this resource folder, eventually, all of the drive that you've used in the past with all those documents and resources, that's going to end up here eventually this year. For now, all that is in here is the YAG, which a lot of you have been asking me where the YAG is. I have put it in the Google Classroom and I've put it here for you as well. But the YAG is here and that TEKS analysis document is here, okay? I also want to point out something from the YAG that some of you may not be familiar with, or it's a little bit different. We have the same as we have in the past, units, which is a little bit different. We used to have everything by reporting periods back in the day. I remember when I became a coordinator, we switched over to units. And now with our new curriculum framework that we created these last 2 years, we have also included sub-unit documents in our curriculum framework. So before it was very general, the unit document's general, the sub-unit document gives you way more detail and way more lesson planning support. So we're gonna go ahead and look at that. So I'm gonna go back. I'm going to go back to the 6th grade drive. And just for our purposes, like I said, I'm in 6th grade. I'm gonna go to the Unit 2 folder. Right now, all the units they're not all filled out. I'm still reviewing documents. It's a massive task. Like I mentioned to you guys, I think we have over 300 documents just in our department. So it's a lot of documents that I have to review, but I'm reviewing them as quickly as I can. But we're here in Unit 2. Everybody will have a folder out here. I'm not a folder, but a file here on the outside, and it's that general unit file. Okay, this one is really more for information. It's just informational. It's just telling you, it's giving you an overview, the concepts, the enduring understandings, essential questions. All of these things are for the whole unit. The TEKS for every subunit. Like I said, vocabulary, all of these things are informational. It's a big overview, okay? Our documents before were only unit documents, and we used to put some links. So this, like I said, is like, I don't anticipate you would use this too much. Maybe just as like, okay, what are we covering? Where am I starting and stopping, right? But the document you really should be focusing on is your subunit document, which I'll just look at 2.1. This document has a lot more detail that I hope you guys are looking at. In this document, the concepts, enduring understandings, and essential questions, you can use all of these as very specific lesson planning guides for you and your students. So you have concepts that you could use with your students to be a lesson starter. These enduring understandings are like big ideas, big conceptual ideas in a sentence. You can also use this with your students. You can use these as lesson planning starters. And then you have essential questions, which can also guide your lesson planning. These are specifically for a portion of that entire unit. This is for the subunit titled Physical Geography. So that when you teach these particular elements of this subunit, these are things that you should be focusing on. You also have your learning outcomes. This is basically your content objective. I know a lot of you are required to post content objectives online in Google Classroom. You can either use these or modify them to your needs. All of the stuff was created by curriculum writers in the summer. You can these can be your starting points, or you can extend on them, modify them, adjust them for whatever your needs are for your courses, okay? And as we continue, there's the performance assessment, which is like a project-based activity that you could use with your students in your classes. The TEKS for this particular unit that you need to make sure and cover for this subunit. You have vocabulary for this subunit only. You have critical vocabulary, which is this is vocabulary that maybe the curriculum writer felt needed more attention or more clarification for you or for the student. This is the part that is way more useful to the teacher. And so the curriculum writers, this probably also was the hardest piece to complete in the summer, because it does require, it's really the differentiation element of your lesson. So whenever they're asking you, how are you differentiating your lesson, which is a question administrators ask often, you need to you can utilize these parts of this component of your subunit document to do that, okay? So you have instructional implications, which can range, it's a range of a lot of different clarification pieces that the curriculum writer felt a teacher needed to know. We have mission rights, so ideas for mission rights. We have ideas for your pre-AP GT kid. We have, or I don't want to say kid, student. We have ideas for your EL student, ideas for your special education student. Remember, this is one teacher's perspective, one teacher's view of how they would approach differentiation in their course for these students. This document, like I mentioned to you previously, this document is it is not a static document. It is a living document. It can change. And so we can add, as a learning community, we can add to these documents and continue to build on the resources. If you scroll further down, you see here there are actual links, okay? These links are taking you to different resources. So it can take you to the Drive, to YouTube videos, to PowerPoints, different sites that curriculum writers have already tried their best to review, and if they've possibly used them in their classes as well. So you have this in every sub-unit document, which should be applicable and very relevant and useful to the teacher as you're planning your lesson and looking forward, okay? We're going to go back to the Drive. And so if you notice, one second, I'm going to go back to my shared drive. I mentioned that I would go into the 2A drive. This is the 6th grade drive. And it is set up by units, and you should be able to have access to a lot of these resources. If you click on, let's just say Unit 1, it gives you ideas, different files that you can utilize as a resource. At this time, there may be a little bit of some alignment issues with our curriculum framework and what's in this unit drive. That's another thing that I'll be working on, trying to adjust, making those adjustments by the units and subunits to match our curriculum drive. So, but you can still utilize these resources. There's a bunch of stuff in here that you can use. So make sure that you are trying your best to utilize what we have available, okay? And if you have any other questions, I hope this was helpful to get information. And if you need more assistance, please let me know. Please don't be embarrassed to ask questions. Don't be embarrassed to send me emails. I am here to support you. This is something that's really important and it's very relevant to your needs right now as a teacher, okay? I hope you're doing well. Take care and stay safe. Thank you so much for listening.